Do not watch this video alone. From the legless spirit of Japan to the hopping corpses of Indonesia, these are 10 forbidden Asian legends that are actually real. Teke. In Japan, if you hear a strange dragging sound at the train station late at night, run immediately. You might be in the territory of a vengeful spirit. Legend says she was a schoolgirl who fell onto the tracks and was cut in half by a train. Now she roams the nights, crawling on her hands and elbows with a sickening teke sound. She is faster than a car. If she catches you, she will use a scythe to cut you in half at the waist, just like her, so you can never run away again. The Red Room. In the early days of the internet, a cursed pop-up ad began to appear on random computers. It simply asked, "Do you like?" If you try to close it, the text changes to, "Do you like the Red Room?" A distorted voice then begins to read the names of your friends, and finally, your own name. The next day, the user is found dead. They have committed suicide and painted their entire room red with their own blood. The Pocong. In Indonesia, the dead are wrapped in a white shroud tied at the head and feet. But if the ties are not released after 40 days, the soul becomes trapped. Since its feet are tied, it cannot walk. It hops. You might hear a soft thud, thud, thud approaching your door at night. It wants you to untie the knot, but be warned. If you see its face, a rotting skull with cotton in its nose, do not scream. If you panic, the Pocong will hop onto you and trap you in its shroud forever. Kuchisake-onna. Walking home alone in Japan, you might meet a woman wearing a surgical mask. She will ask you a simple question, "Am I beautiful?" If you say no, she kills you with scissors. If you say yes, she rips off her mask, revealing a mouth slit from ear to ear, and screams, "How about now?" There is no escape. If you say yes the second time, she will cut your mouth to look just like hers. Mae Nak. In Thailand, there is a ghost so devoted she refused to leave her husband, even after death. Mae Nak died in childbirth, while her husband was away at war. When he returned, he found his wife waiting for him. But one day, he saw her stretch her arm to an impossible length to pick up a fallen lime from the ground. He realized he had been living with a corpse. Mae Nak is not evil, but her love is possessive. If you threaten her bond, she will drag you into the river. The Krasue. Look up at the night sky in Southeast Asia. That red light you see hovering above the village isn't a drone. It is a hunger. The Krasue is a cursed woman who detaches her head at night. She flies around, trailing her heart and intestines, hunting for pregnant women and raw meat. If you leave clothes drying outside at night and find them stained with blood and saliva in the morning, the Krasue has wiped her mouth on them. Sukima-onna. Never stare into the dark gaps in your room, between the sofa cushions, under the bed, or behind the closet. In Japan, they believe these spaces are inhabited. If you lock eyes with the gap woman, she will ask you if you want to play hide and seek, but the moment you look away, she drags you into the gap. You will become the next watcher in the walls, forever stuck between dimensions. The cursed reflection. There is an old Asian superstition. Never look into a mirror at midnight with the lights off. Mirrors are not just glass, they are portals. If you see a shadow in the reflection that isn't in the room with you, do not turn around. It is waiting for you to acknowledge it. They say if the mirror cracks on its own, the portal is open. The thing on the other side is coming through to take your place. Hantu Raya. In rural Malaysia, some people make pacts with the great ghost for protection and wealth. They must feed it offerings every night at the edge of the jungle. It can take the shape of its master, but if the master forgets to feed it, the Hantu Raya will enter the house looking for a different kind of meal. When the pact is broken, it doesn't just kill you. It eats your soul slowly, while inhabiting your body to trick your family. The Pontianak. In Malaysia and Indonesia, never walk near banana trees at night. If you smell the sudden scent of sweet flowers, followed by the stench of rotting flesh, the Pontianak is the spirit of a woman who died during childbirth. She eats the organs of men to revenge her own death. She announces her arrival with a baby's cry. If the cry is loud, she is far away. If the cry is soft, she is already right behind you. These legends have one thing in common. They feed on fear. Now that you know their names, you have invited them into your memory. Try to sleep well tonight. And if you hear a scratching sound under your bed, do not look.